The Game of the Year awards are just around the corner. On the 7th of December, the livestream will take place and announce under various categories which game is going to get the title Game of the Year 2023. While Hogwarts Legacy was released in February this year, it has not been nominated in one single category. Is this game really that bad? And before we dive in, I want to make clear I am not a Harry Potter fan, didn't like the books, didn't like the movies, and I have not much background knowledge of the world. So we are heading into this discussion from an outside perspective. If you want to hear something about the controversy about this game, I will touch this later in a very reduced state. If you watch my channel regularly, you will have noticed that speaking of bugs and performance, especially at release, is a very important aspect for me. When I think back to other movies or book related games, I must say I have always been utterly disappointed. Usually graphics were abysmal, bugs were never fixed, and the story is not very outstanding. Hogwarts Legacy surprised me in all of these aspects. The game was delivered in an extremely polished state, even though it had some bugs here and there and needed some minor tweaking. However, running the game on high settings, neither my hardware nor the game acted up in any way. The sound design was great and realistic, and the graphic design looked very natural, not over the top and not utterly crap. Voice tracks for the characters are enjoyable, even emphasizing all the accents you would expect at such a school. My scuffed accent, for example, would probably just blend into the mass of the environment, which very much looks alive. Chaos and talking just everywhere. From the point of view of an outsider, the story was very interesting, but was lacking a certain finish to me. Certain references to the main story of the books, I did understand them, but I didn't think they were fundamental to play the game. I count them as a nice gimmick. What I did like is the open world not being entirely overwhelming to me, and also categorizing the game progress into invisible chapters and levels. At some point, I was always forced to come back to the main story quests to be able to get back to the side quests afterwards again. Many other open world games make the mistake giving you absolute freedom where you would finish every side quest, but in the end being so exhausted that you will never ever play the main storyline. Also, Hogwarts Legacy does not say to itself open world has to be huge. The world is fairly compact in comparison to other games, making traveling from A to B easy using your broom, for example. I did, however, slip into the rabbit hole of solving riddles at some point. This endeavor will end soon though if you don't have certain spells at hand. Controls were mid. Very often I forgot the keybinds to switch potions, mount or dismount my broom, and the main menu is just oversaturated with countless submenus, achievements, collections, inventory management, more and more. I don't know, I feel as if I need a guide just for all the menu controls. The map is confusing at times, especially in Hogwarts Castle itself. Better take a note where you left some items to pick them up later. You will be having a hard time finding these items again. Movement of the character feels clumsy at times. On the other hand, this is not a fast-paced first-person shooter, and especially not Fortnite. Speaking of fighting, the fights were okay, I enjoyed them. When it comes to multiplayer or side games, you might be disappointed. No multiplayer. If you thought you can play Quidditch, no. That will be another game which just got announced. Bummer. There would have been potential to make this multiplayer or even massive multiplayer. However, the studio decided to go with a pure single player experience. This is a fair decision, though releasing Quidditch, a core feature of a Harry Potter experience, into a second game is honestly a stupid move. Okay, add-ons and DLCs. What do we have? A Dark Arts Pack DLC with just a laughable price. You get a mount, some clothing skins, and a battle arena for drumroll $19.99. Honestly, when deciding on that price tag, you weren't really sober or you were smoking some weird stuff, right? Talking to Avalanche and Warner at this point. And that's it. There were some cosmetics as Twitch drops. These Twitch drops have now been released as a free DLC, but yeah, that's about it, and I don't think any other story-related DLC will be released for this game. Speaking of Twitch, feel free to follow my channel, link is in the description below. So why is Hogwarts Legacy not nominated as a Game of of the year in any category. 2 reasons in my opinion. The game is a solid and fun game to play, offering a very good single player experience to dive into, and even non-Potter fans have the potential to enjoy this title. Avalanche Software and Warner did deliver in this point. However, nuances are missing to push this game to the top. Still, from the gaming aspect, not a bad game. Certainly something you can enjoy, especially for a movie or a book adaptation. My recommendation would be playing this over Christmas time. I think it gives some cozy Christmas vibes. The second reason in my opinion, and probably the big elephant standing in the room, is the controversy around J.K. Rowling herself and her statements. People were angry, disappointed, and furious. Social media being literally on fire in February and the months past. Everything and everyone was almost being cancelled if you had anything to do with this game. Tools were created to stalk content creators if they are covering this title. Ban and block lists were created. Death threats in direct messages, you name it. So I can't imagine no one at the Game Awards would like to touch Hogwarts Legacy, even just remotely. But I could be mistaken. Feel free to discuss with me in the comments below. I only ask you to stay civilized, keep it a safe place for everyone, and do not cause any drama or act like on a civil uprising. Any insults, rudeness, and whatever against anyone will just be deleted right away. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.